Hey guys, so I've heard you talk about product market fit many times on the podcast. Can you explain for the listeners that don't know what exactly is product market fit?
Do you want to take this first, or do you want me to take it?
No, you preach it. You go.
So I always say there's two sides when you're building a product, right? It's like there's the product side, and then there's the market, and it's the intersection of what the product, the product you're creating, does it embrace the market? Does the market adopt it? And so it's a lot about, to me, market adoption. And it's about, if you looked at it in a graphic form, oftentimes it's articulated as the hockey stick moment before it just jumps up. Just you're kind of slowly grinding, and you feels like a grind every single day. But then when you really hit a aspirin problem and people just want to take their wallets out and they're like, give me it, it solves my problem. That's when you just hit this skyrocket growth. So, Bryce, what would you say?
Yeah, I agree. I think I want to say what product market fit is not as well, because
That's good.
product market fit is a bunch of different factors, but some people confuse product market fit with just sales. Like we sold $1 million worth of stuff, we have product market fit. But you'll see stories from founders all the time, especially multiple time founders, where they'll say, we were a year in, 2 years in, 3 years in, sold $1 million worth of stuff, and we still didn't have product market fit. So product market fit, like you were saying, is when the market is embracing it, when you put your product in front of someone and you can almost guarantee they're going to take it. So you know who's going to buy it, you know how to position it in front of them, and then you know how to deliver it to them. That's when you have real product market fit. I think another signal that you have product market fit is just when people are tearing down your door to get it. If sales are really tough, try something else.
Yes.
Maybe it's the product that's wrong, but it could be who you're talking to or the messaging. But it could be any of those things, and you need to experiment until people are just tearing down your door to get it.
Yeah.
So.
I get a lot of questions about the duration of product market. Like, how long does it take to find product market fit? Yeah. And I don't know about you. Well, I would love to hear your response. My response is always, it depends. And people hate that answer. But it's like, it really depends, because in my experience, I've done 3 years where we've pivoted 11 different times and we haven't found product market fit. But through that time, we've made sales. Like, we've actually made sales through that time of different people, but it was never, like you said, it was never an easy sale. It was never like, I can guarantee when I meet with this person, they're going to like say yes.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think that it also depends on the complexity of the idea that you're trying to put out there, which will impact the timeline. If you are a plumber or a roofer and you have this known value and concept, and you're going out, like you should have very quick adoption of the thing that you're doing. If you have a totally novel idea, it might take you longer to experiment your way to find product market fit. And a lot of times people get false signals from the first conversation. Like they talk to you talk about this a lot, but they talk to their mom or their best friend, and that person says, yes, that's a great idea. And that's enough validation for the founder to think that they have product market fit. So sometimes you think you've got it right away, but it's not there. You need enough data points.
yes,
right?
You always fall in love with your own ideas, and you always, then you ask the people closest to you, do you think this is a good idea? And everyone's going to say yes, because they're like, they like you. Yeah. They're like, yeah, of course, that's a great idea. Good job, Josh. I'm glad you brought that idea up.
Yeah. What are the first steps that you would take or advise people to take when they're trying to find product market fit? Or maybe another way is how to assess that they have product market fit. What would be the steps you would take?
In my mind, I feel like people make the mistake, talking about one of the biggest mistakes in product market fit. Product, even in that phrase, comes first. So people think, I need to build a product and I need to spend 6 months engineering. I did this problem. Like, I was susceptible to this at first. And it was like, I built a product. It took 6 months with a team, built it, and no one used it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, invert that. And it's almost like market product fit. You invert it. And what that means is get customers first. And people are like, how do you do that? And think about Kickstarter. They didn't build a product. They're going on there to see if they can raise money to build the product. And if you can invert that model, that is a far quicker path. So quick, rapid things to test quantitatively. Should I go engineer this? Should I go build it? Is going to be a heck of a lot faster than building the actual thing than doing it. That's like the biggest tip.
I agree. I think with product market fit, sometimes people, or probably most people, would define it as like, once your product is out there, how does it fit into the world?
Yeah.
But I think you and I take a different approach to that, where we think does
Yes.
the message even fit? Like, way before you have something physical,
Yes.
does it fit with the market?
Yes.
Because if you can't sell the idea, you can't sell the one liner, you're not going to be able to sell the physical thing when it comes time to actually give them money. Because there's going to be, once they have that physical thing or the digital thing, they're going to see all the ways that it's not what they had in their head and why it's not perfect. So
Yes.
if you don't have product market fit when it's just an idea, it's going to be harder to get it once
That's right.
it exists in the world.
I've seen you use some tactics. We both have tactics. What are some tactics to figure out if there's early signals?
Yeah. Well, the first thing that I'm doing is I'm taking the one liner and I'm putting that in front of someone and just seeing how they react. But then I'm also pushing for a transaction as early as possible, because money speaks. And I want to, and coupling, I would also couple that with, I need to know who the people are that I'm talking to. So I'm building out personas in my head about who this is. And I should have a good sense of how the conversation is going to go based off of who they are and other conversations I've had, and putting the message in front of them. So, I mean, yeah, my tactics are, I am very simple in this way. Almost always I do the same thing. I'm just writing up the one-liner and I'm putting it out there into the digital world or the physical world, and I'm just seeing what people say. And then I look for the questions that come after. So I love living in the vague area and then letting people ask questions that then inform how I should change the messaging. So if I were to say that I am making an app that is going to solve this problem, then what is the first question? Are people asking, how much does it cost? Or, well, this other app already does it. Or, how's this different from this other thing? Like, then it informs me of what the market wants. And
Yes.
yeah, so I'm very simple in that way.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love that.
Similar to you?
Yeah, I think similar to me. The other tactic I use often is to, like you said, do write-ups, simple write-ups. Like you used one example of, I'm just going to write the headline and I'm going to talk to them.
Yeah.
Another tactic is write out the headline and create a very simple landing page, or create a very simple, small brief doc. If you're talking about B2B sales, it's throw it out there in the world and then say, hey, check out this. Let me know, is this interesting to you? It's demo it, show it. And it's just a landing page, something that takes we're talking hours rather than weeks to months. So, yeah. Evan, go ahead.
I'm just going to add one more thing here. So a lot of the things we just talked about are also in this blog post on cityinnovations.com. You can check out our blog. There's a good write-up here on what product market fit is, what to look for. Something we didn't really talk about, though, is minimum viable products, and maybe we could talk about how that fits into the equation. Josh, do you want to kind of give your definition of a minimum viable product, and then maybe how it's different from
at City? We've almost created our own term that what we believe MVP should be. MVP, I feel, is an abused term, because depending on who you're talking to, if you're talking to an engineering team, they think MVP is the first version of something, and it's, in my mind, in our view, it shouldn't be the first version of something. It actually should be built for learning purposes, versus if you're an engineer, you think it's built for scale. You think it's the concrete you pour to scale and build your building upon. And the way I look at it is popsicle sticks and baling wire that is removable, that the purpose is you're going to actually destroy this MVP, but it's just to learn about your customers. And that's a completely different concept. So you want to use frameworks that are easy to assemble, rapid, off-the-shelf software, a WordPress website, a Wix site, something quick and rapid to learn. And so it could be Airtable, it could be Google Docs, it could be fill in the blank, these off-the-shelf SaaS products that you put together, versus I'm going to spend so much time and energy making sure this is perfect. So that would be how we kind of define. I mean, would you agree? Anything you would add to that, Bryce?
No, I just reinforced that we typically drop the P part of the MVP, the product part, because when people hear product, they often are thinking that this has to be something that is very polished, and when you support founders, especially, they have some dream in their head, some vision for what this thing is going to be, and so when you tell them it's an MVP, they're still thinking of that final state.
Yes,
and and we try to move them away from that. So there's different language of minimum viable solution and some other terms you can use, but it's just an experiment. It's just something you're putting out there in the world. You want to throw it away, exactly like you said. It's not the first version of something.
Yes.
So I agree with that.
Yes.
Evan, anything we're unclear about?
So product market fit helps you to validate a product, kind of, you would say?
Yeah, it's the product market fit is the moment of validation, I'll say. It's like the moment you go, we have something like truly special. So, but anything before that, it's almost like if you looked at a timeline, like I said, is like there's this trajectory of like
Right.
growth. It's the moment of that inflection point. And so then you go, when you hear the term, do you have product? We've asked the question to startups, have you gotten product market fit?
Yeah.
A lot of times that's to know if the founder knows what that even means and to know like their knowledge of it. But if they do know it, then if they say no or they say yes, that's indicative of yes means it's a scaling problem. Like if they say I have product market fit, you should concentrate on how you can scale your business. If it's no, you should learn more about what your customers want.
Gotcha.
Would you say that's accurate? Okay.
Yeah. Product market fit can mean different things to different people, but it's not the form of experimentation. You would experiment to achieve product market fit.
Right.
Product market is a fit that is a state that you're trying to achieve.
Yes.
And there's you can't exactly look at a chart and say this is when we reached it, but you can see some signals.
Yes.
There. Like you said, it's a hockey stick of sales or of lowering of acquisition costs or time spent with your product or reorders, right? Like, the stickiness of a product is something to look at too. So, it's a state you're trying to achieve.
All startups try and get that product market fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good question.